Okay guys, so Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid, and what a match this was. Drama, red cards, controversy, a late winner, this game had absolutely everything. Let me break it all down for you. So just to set the scene first, this was the fourth time these two sides have faced each other this season. Fourth time. And they've still got two more meetings coming up this week in the Champions League quarterfinal. Six times in one season between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. The rivalry is at an absolute boiling point right now, and you could feel every bit of that tension throughout this entire match. And the context made this even bigger. Real Madrid were playing earlier on Saturday and they lost. Lost to Mallorca. Mallorca, who are struggling in the league. So Barcelona knew coming into this game that if they won, they could go 7 points clear at the top of La Liga with 8 games to go. Massive occasion. Now the match itself, it was bad tempered from very early on. You could tell both sets of players came into this with a point to prove, especially Atletico after knocking Barcelona out of the Copa del Rey semi-final just recently. That result was still fresh, so the intensity from the first whistle was at a completely different level. Atletico took the lead in the 39th minute, and it was a really well taken goal. Giuliano Simeone, the son of Atletico manager Diego Simeone, found space inside the box and placed the ball perfectly past the goalkeeper. A composed finish from the young striker. And you can imagine what that meant, scoring against Barcelona in front of his father on the touchline in a match this big. The celebration said everything. Atletico were ahead and the Metropolitano was absolutely rocking. But Barcelona hit back almost immediately. Just 3 minutes later, 3 minutes, Marcus Rashford equalised. And the way the goal went in was a bit fortunate, but he'll take it. The ball went through the legs of goalkeeper Juan Musso and found the net. Download, Barcelona leveled just like that. And then right at the end of the first half, the moment that changed the entire game, Nico Gonzalez was shown a straight red card for denying Lamine Yamal a goal scoring opportunity. Clear red, Yamal was through on goal and Gonzalez stopped him illegally. So Atletico Madrid had to play the entire second half with 10 men, down to 10 before half time even arrived. A massive blow for Diego Simeone's side. Then in first half stoppage time, substitute Marc Bernal had a golden chance to put Barcelona ahead right before the break. A really good opportunity to make it 2 download with Atletico already down to 10 men, and he wasted it. Missed the chance completely. That kind of miss can really come back to haunt you in tight games like this. And then early in the second half, more controversy. Barcelona's Gerard Martin went in for a challenge on Thiago Almada, and the referee initially showed him a straight red card. And Atletico were absolutely furious when the referee was then instructed to go and review it on the pitch side monitor. Because after looking at it again, he downgraded it from a red to a yellow. Martin stayed on the pitch. Atletico could not believe it. Diego Simeone on the touchline absolutely losing his mind. The whole Atletico bench erupted. They felt that decision was completely wrong and honestly their frustration was understandable. They're already down to 10 men. And then they feel like their opponents should also be down to 10 and the referee changes the decision. Chaos. So Barcelona had 11 players against Atletico's 10 for the whole second half and you would expect Barcelona to completely run away with it from there. But football isn't always that straightforward. Atletico defended with everything they had, their shape, their organization, their determination. Diego Simeone had them incredibly well set up defensively even with the man disadvantage. Barcelona were pushing and probing but just could not find a way through for most of the second half. Ferran Torres came close, the former Manchester City forward got into a good position and struck it well but Musso produced a fine save to keep Atletico level. Barcelona were getting increasingly frustrated. The clock was ticking. The chance to go 7 points clear was slipping away. They needed something. And then the 87th minute. Robert Lewandowski. Of course it was Lewandowski. The 37-year-old striker still doing it at the highest level. João Cancelo drove forward and had a shot that Musso couldn't hold properly. The ball rebounded and hit Lewandowski on the shoulder. A fortunate touch but it flew into the net. 2 download Barcelona. Late winner. The Camp Nou erupted. It wasn't the most glamorous goal of Lewandowski's career. The ball hit him on the shoulder and went in. But in a match this tight, this tense, this important, it doesn't matter how they go in. 3 points is 3 points. And for a 37-year-old striker to come up with the winning goal in the 87th minute in a match of this magnitude, that is what top players do. That is experience. That is a winning mentality. After the game, Hansi Flick spoke and you could hear the relief as much as the happiness in what he said. He talked about how difficult it is to play at the Metropolitano, the atmosphere, the emotions, how intense that environment is. He said he was really happy with the 3 points and that Barcelona need to keep that hunger. 8 games left in the league, they have to stay focused every single game. And then he looked ahead to the Champions League quarter-final already. He acknowledged it's a completely different competition. He said every player has more to give in those games. Everyone wants to reach the semi-final. He said they have 3 days to rest and prepare and refocus before Wednesday. And he ended by saying these are exactly the kind of games that remind him why he does this job. High pressure, high stakes, late drama. That's what football management at the top level is all about. So where does this leave things in La Liga? Barcelona are now on 76 points. Real Madrid after that defeat to Mallorca are on 69 points. 7 points between them with 8 games remaining. Barcelona are in a really strong position right now. If they can keep this form going, and they showed today that even in the most difficult circumstances, in a hostile atmosphere going down to a goal, facing 10 men who defended brilliantly, they found a way. That resilience is what champions are made of. Atletico stay fourth on 57 points and they now have to dust themselves off very quickly because on Wednesday they travel to the Camp Nou for the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final. Same opponent, 3 days later, different competition. And after what happened today, after that 87th minute winner, after the red card controversy, after all the tension, you can guarantee that tie is going to be absolutely electric. 6 meetings in one season between these two clubs, and the two most important ones are still to come. This rivalry right now is one of the best things in European football and I genuinely cannot wait for Wednesday. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the match. Do you think the Gerard Martin red card should have stayed? And who do you think goes through in the Champions League quarter-final? Drop your thoughts below. Subscribe if you're new. Champions League coverage all week on this channel. I'll see you very soon. Take care.